I mean, everybody wanted me to be there, including some of the players. So I didn't know what I have that make it happen. But it was very interesting because at a point I wasn't counting myself, even though I played all the qualifiers. I was still captain the team. We qualified, but at a point I was like, I wasn't sure if I would make it to the World Cup. But I mean, luckily, yeah, I went to South Africa with the team.
If you're a football fan, you've probably seen this picture before. Stephen Appiah, jaw clenched, eyes fixed. It has become such a generational football meme. But for some of us, that picture isn't a meme. It reminds us of something as Ghanaians we've been searching for ever since. Leadership. There's a story behind that picture. To understand it, we have to go back into time. Because the mediocrity around our football right now isn't entirely new. In many ways, it feels painfully familiar. After Ghana lost the 1992 AFCON final to Cote d'Ivoire on penalties, Ghanaian football entered another uncertain period. Administration became increasingly politicized, coaching changes became frequent, and the direction of the national team often seemed to change with the people in charge. Yet in the middle of all that uncertainty, two men emerged, Abedi Pele, or Abedi Ayew, and Tony Yeboah. If you followed European football in the 90s, these weren't just good players. They were among Africa's biggest exports. Abedi was conquering Europe with Marseille. Tony Yeboah, on the other hand, was scoring goals in Germany and England, goals people still watch on YouTube today. For a while, it felt like these two would carry Ghana back to where we belong. But football doesn't work that way. Great players don't automatically make great teams. Instead, something else happened. The dressing room slowly became divided, an Abedi camp, and there was a Tony Yeboah camp. Whether exaggerated over the years or not, the perception alone was damaging. A national team cannot afford competing centers of influence. Add inconsistent administration to the mix, and the Black Stars moved from bad to worse. A giant that kept disappointing. Ghana failed to qualify for a single FIFA World Cup despite producing some of Africa's finest footballers. We won youth tournaments, we produced whiz kids, yet the senior team never quite came together when it mattered. Eventually, we just accepted that that generation wasn't going to deliver what Ghanaians had hoped. So what happened next? Instead of searching for another savior, we built another generation. The country began drawing from the talented core that had won the 1995 FIFA U17 World Championship and the side that reached the final of the 2001 FIFA World League Championship. Talent aside, these young lads had already learned something priceless: how to win together. Out of that generation emerged Michael Essien, John Mensah, Sule Muntari, and quietly, without demanding headlines, there was this kid or a midfielder born at Choko, Stephen Tornado El Capitano Appiah. Now back to that picture. Ghana versus Uganda, Kumasi 2005. Ghana needed to win, not wanted to, needed to. Lose that game and another generation would probably become another chapter in Ghana's long history of what could have been. Watch that match again. Don't watch just the goals. Watch the number 10 shirted man with the captain's armband. He played like a man carrying something heavier than a football match. He demanded, he encouraged, he chased, he tackled, he celebrated every loose ball like it was a goal. He wasn't trying to be the star on the day, he was trying to make sure Ghana became the story. The Black Stars won 2-0 at the end of the game. That victory puts Ghana within touching distance of its first ever FIFA World Cup. Weeks later, qualification was confirmed. The rest, they say, is history.
Messages have you been receiving?
I haven't even read them because they keep on coming. They keep on coming. I think that I have to turn one of the phone off.
You haven't read any of them? Messages of support?
No, not at all. Look, they still calling. They still calling. Phones are calling. So that's
the famous win over Czech Republic, the heartbreak against Brazil. 3 years later, another AFCON semi-final. Then 2010, one kick away from becoming Africa's first World Cup semi-finalist. Most remember the moments. I remember the leadership.
No, so as you can see, even though I'm talking, I like to do gestures, like that's how I talk. When Jan missed the penalty, we got to the penalty shootouts. So Jan came to me and said, Stephen, can you play? Can you play the first one? And I was telling him that no, I'm not going to play. Be confident, and I know that you are going to score. So go and play. So when I was doing this, because of the whatever happened, people interpreted it in the wrong way that I was warning. But at that point, that pressure, the person was very, very down. That's where I have to go and warn him. No, I mean, that's not my style. I would never ever do that. I would never ever do that.
Stephen Appiah played through injuries that would have kept many players on the treatment table. There are countless accounts from teammates, coaches, and journalists of him pushing his body beyond what was sensible. Maybe that's why players followed him. The loudest voice is not always a leader. A lot of the time, it's the person everyone trusts when things begin to fall apart. Stephen Appiah gave the players' egos a common purpose, and that's what made that generation different. There had to be a generation willing to sacrifice for Ghana football before Ghana could return to its glory days. Stephen Appiah simply became the face of that sacrifice. Which brings me to why we are telling this story anyway. This isn't really about football. Football is just a mirror. Truth be told, Ghana currently doesn't only have a football problem. We seem to have a leadership crisis. Politics, business, churches, schools, even our local communities. And we all can see it. Too often, leadership has become synonymous with status instead of service, with being seen instead of making others better. Stephen Appiah reminds us that the best leaders don't always stand in front. Sometimes they stand in the middle, holding everyone together. To some, this meme is just a clenched jaw we use to make fun of others. To others, it's the face of a man carrying an entire nation's belief on his shoulders. Nokore, every generation remembers its greatest leaders, not because they demanded attention, but because they inspired belief.